Friends, welcome to another episode of Auto Afflicted. I'm your host, Ali Goulet. Today, we're with my neighbor, Mark. We're at his secret garage in the Alabama wine country. He's going to show us all of his amazing Mopar American muscle, and we're going to get into it right now. Right, so like I said, Alabama wine country, secret Mopar garage. My neighbor Mark, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's got a massive car collection, so obviously he's a little crazy like we are. We're gonna start out with this 71 GSS Demon. It's a Mr. Norm. He's gonna run us through it, and then he'll probably tell us about his philosophy. Like, you know, this is not a trailer queen. This is about preserving what came off the lot. So Mark's going to take us from here. Let's go.
This is a 1971 Dodge Demon built at Mr. Norm's. It's what's known as a GSS, Grand Spalding Special. He built them in tri-power, aka six-pack, in 1971, and the 72 Demons were supercharged cars. This is the Mr. Norm GSS package. It came with Holley 2300 carburetors from a Corvette and an aftermarket Siegel air cleaner. That's why tri-power is in reverse, with Cal Custom valve covers, similar to the way Mr. Norm would have sold the car as a GSS. This car was just tried to put back to the way it was built. And it's really a preservation of a car, not a restoration. So we left as much of it alone as we could. So the old ugly vinyl top is a GM top that was installed at Mr. Norm's. That's really why we have not messed with it. It's in all the paperwork. So we do not want to disturb it because we're trying to preserve this car, and it shows all of its door dings and all of its abuse, but for the most part it's an original car except for the mechanicals, because this was a race car that people tortured back in the day. This is the original Mr. Norm's dealership decal on the trunk. They are kind of unique and reflective versus what you can get today. There are many different versions of it, but that's the original for 71. All the original stickers are in place. Some have paint over them, but they're the original stickers in their location. This is a 1978 Plymouth kit car. It has the Little Red Express and the police package engine in it. Even though they were very unpopular, they were the fastest U.S. car made at the time. Faster than a Camaro, faster than a Camaro Z28, faster than a Corvette.
And your kids raced this?
Yeah, we raced this car. 247 were made. It's all original, 30,000 miles. It has the fake hood pins, the only car ever made with it. They don't do anything, they just for looks. My first new car I ever bought, and still the only new car I ever bought. I've drag raced this car a lot, but I don't drag race it anymore because I don't have a track anymore. This is a 1970 B7 Blue Challenger convertible, A66 package, so that means it's a 340 car, not an RT. And originally it was one of 19 cars because it was born a 3-speed manual, but now it's a 4-speed manual. More 340 cars. Here's a 1970 Vitamin C Orange 340 Duster. Well traveled, been to many events all over the country. Four-door 1964 Studebaker Daytona R1. So it has an Avanti engine, posi traction, heavy duty, everything. One of 11 cars. It's an oddball.
That's cool.
It has powered disc brakes way before any American other companies had them. Same brakes as were on a Jaguar in 1964. This is a Cyclone spoiler II Cale Yarborough. It's supposed to be white and red. And we sanded off the one side. It would be all white here and a red top, like you can see here. Okay? And it would have reflective stripes down the side, which if you want to see, they're right here in the door jamb. So they would have these red stripes the length of the car, also known as hockey sticks. It's a very rare car because it was made for NASCAR, and it had this handmade front nose part. Station wagon Torino rear bumper, a Fairlane grille, 69 Mercury Cyclone spoiler II Cale Yarborough. The longest name in muscle cars.
Well, let's walk into the other room.
Sure. This is the business end of it. This is where the work is supposed to get done when it does. This is a 2014 Chevy Caprice, except for Chevy never made it. It's an Australian Holden, only brought to the United States for the government and for police. It has a aluminum 6-liter LS engine, independent rear end. I think there's another one in here. They're rare cars, and they're really great cars. If you like Camaros or Corvettes or LS engines, this was the ticket. Huge trunks, huge space, really nice drivers.
What else? What else? What else? I mean,
Here's a one-owner 1965 GTO, which was loved and raced from day one. It's another preservation.
some macaque in action.
Yeah, that's what that is. So it's another preservation, which we're just trying to make it mechanically, make it safe, make it right, but not overdo it. We're okay with the funk in this car and all its bumps and bruises and abuse. We put lower quarter panels and a trunk pan and all new body mounts on this car. Everything that's fluid, everything that's a brake, everything that's a line is all new. Just like I say, try to make it a good functional vehicle, but not over-restore it. It's kind of getting boring to see another perfectly restored car when you just don't see the originals in the original shape that they used to survive. So, and it's nice to be able to get out and drive these cars, so I prefer not having to worry about babysitting. It's kind of in there tight, but we'll see what we can show you. 1973 Pierre Cardin AMX Javelin with a Go Pack. So it's a 401 car with the Go package. Disc brakes and a bunch of other things like a rear end that's twin grip. So yeah, it's a Pierre Cardin. It was built by AMC. They made some designer cars, a Gucci car, an Oleg Cassini, and a Pierre Cardin. I think that's all of them. The only way you can replace these interiors is having a headliner and chopping it to fit the seats. But soon someone will be making the parts. It's a beautiful car and it runs great when when the engine's in it. It's over there somewhere in the piles of parts and engines. You know how the Nova, yes, but SS? That car was actually built out of all junk from my old yard. So it started with a $250 Nova that came out of a storage unit. Then built it, then traded storage for the bodywork and paint. It's just a Nova, an anti-Nova Nova. This is your grandmother's Nova in wolf's clothing.
Doesn't look like my grandma's engine.
350 4-bolt main, 30 over. 1969 Roadrunner with a cloned mod top and an A12 package. 1978 Aspen Super Coupe. Again, you can't see the stripes until you open the door. So here's the original stripes. That is one of the ways you find muscle cars, by the way. Look for stripes. That car came out of a junkyard in Montana. It's a nice car. We've had it running, but we need to put exhaust on it now. Always been car crazy. You know, I was a kid in the muscle car era, so it was pretty influential for me. And once I got older and had a way to work on them, store them, and move them, this is what happens. You get in deep. What else to say? Doesn't happen overnight though, kids. Trust me.
So what's the first thing you really should do? You get your money up, get some properties, get a business, then buy cars, or start buying cars and eating ramen?
Whatever you can handle. I mean, I have friends who literally eat ramen and have $250,000 in cars. So it's up to you and what your skill level is in order to be able to do stuff to them. Fix them, maintain them, rebuild them in most cases. Jay Leno is an example. He's got to work on them. I mean, I feel the same way. I don't do everything to these cars, but I definitely have to have the hands on it and improve it and give it the love that it takes, because that's what this is about, really. Your camaraderie and your involvement in life beyond the internet.
Right, friends, so there you go. A quick romp through Mark's private garage. Saw some really cool stuff. He told me a lot of things I don't know because, like I said, I'm kind of muscle car ignorant. The big question for me, Mark, is are you going to let me drive any of these cars later?
It's possible.
Okay, it's possible. So it's possible. Anyway, friends, like I always say, you know, love your neighbors, or at least be kind to them.
Cars.
Love your cars. You know.
Let your neighbors love your cars.
Let your neighbors love your cars. Share. Don't be a hoarder. And, you know, drop a like on it if you liked it or not. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this action. And otherwise, just be well, and we'll catch you on the next one.